probably already know that the Carnival Celebration is the biggest ship in the Carnival fleet, but there's a lot more to the celebration that you might not know. For example, did you know that she was built to celebrate the cruise line's 50th anniversary? And scattered throughout the decks are original items from retired ships, adding a unique touch to the ship's design. We sailed on the Carnival Celebration recently, and we had a blast discovering all the hidden secrets throughout the ship. We've put together our expert tips and tricks that we wish we knew before we got on board, so you'll be one step ahead of everyone else on your cruise. Let's get into it. Cruising on the Carnival Celebration can feel like stepping onto a floating city, and honestly, its sheer size might throw you off at first. With 19 decks, endless amenities, and 6,000 passengers, it's easy to get a little lost. But don't worry. Once you get familiar with the ship's different zones, you'll find navigating this mega cruise ship a breeze. Each area has its own vibe and purpose, making it simple to find what you're looking for, whether it's entertainment, food, or a quiet spot to relax. The heart of the cruise ship is Celebrations Central, a vibrant 3-level promenade. This is where you'll step onto the ship when you embark, and trust me, the view will leave you in awe. It is home to a variety of bars, restaurants, and shops. It's also where Center Stage is located, a huge entertainment venue with live shows and performances. After passing through the fun shops on decks 6 and 7 of Celebration Central, you'll enter the Gateway. This area is home to some fantastic specialty restaurants like Fahrenheit 555 and Emeril's Bistro 1396. On Deck 8, Celebration Central leads to the 820 Biscayne area, themed after the Celebration's home port in Miami. Here you'll find Miami Slice and the Deco Deli, both perfect spots for getting a late-night snack, as they are one of the few dining venues open after 9 p.m. As you move towards the back of Deck 8, you'll find Summer Landing, one of our favorite spots on the ship. I'll get into more details on this later, but for now, think of it as a mini Lido deck. Of course, the Lido deck itself is on the upper decks. Yes, decks. The Celebration has both an upper and lower Lido deck, giving you plenty of space to lounge, swim, and soak up the sun. And if you're looking for a little more adventure, head up to Deck 18 to the Ultimate Playground, where you can enjoy everything from water slides to mini golf and even a roller coaster. If you've watched any of our ship tours, you know that I'm a sucker for a good ice cream cone. The Carnival Celebration does not disappoint, with several Swirls locations offering soft serve and frozen yogurt. There's even one hidden in an army van at the Heroes Tribute Lounge. But on this cruise, I discovered something that took my ice cream game to a whole new level. Fresh-made gelato. You'll need to act fast though, as it's only available from noon to 2:30 in the Lido Marketplace. I tried 4 delicious flavors: mango, hazelnut, coffee, and my personal favorite, passion fruit. The best desserts are free. While we're on the subject of sweet treats, I have to let you in on a little secret. The best dessert on the Carnival Celebration isn't found in the buffet, the main dining room, or even in one of the extra charged specialty restaurants. Nope. It can be found at the Pig and Anchor Barbecue down in Summer Landing. Are you starting to see why this is my favorite spot on the ship? The Mississippi Mud Pie is a generous slice of fudgy goodness that is only available on Excel-class ships. The best part? You can order it to go and bring it back to your stateroom to enjoy later. If you've sailed on other Carnival ships, you might notice that the Carnival Celebration has a slightly different layout than other fun ships. While many of your favorite venues are still on board, they're not always in the same spot you might expect. Guy's Burgers is no longer located near the main pool. Instead, it is on the upper Lido. There is an entrance near the elevator banks and one behind the Red Frog Tiki Bar. Yep, the Red Frog Tiki Bar is on the upper Lido too. Actually, the bar is a 2-level venue, so you can choose between being where all the action is on the lower Lido or head to the upper Lido for a great view overlooking the pool. The mainstays of Carnival's after-hour venues are the Deli and Pizzeria del Capitano. On the Celebration, both of these venues have been relocated, renamed, and gotten a refreshed menu. The Deco Deli and Miami Slice are on Deck 8, with a themed decor and Miami classics to honor the Celebration's home port. You can order a Cubano sandwich or grab a slice of picadillo pizza. On the Carnival Celebration, you've got 2 comedy clubs, the Limelight Lounge and the Punchliners Comedy Club. In previous ships, these were combined into one venue, and the shows were often standing room only. The Limelight Lounge hosts PG-rated shows and karaoke during the afternoon. Come nighttime, it transforms into a disco dance club for passengers 18 and older. The Punchliner Comedy Club is for adult comedy shows that might get a little bit more edgy. If you're a fan while shopping while cruising, you'll notice that the fun shops aren't all in one place like on other Carnival ships. Instead, the shops are scattered throughout Celebration Central on decks 6, 7, and 8. I found plenty of opportunities to browse while exploring the atrium area. Of course, I made sure to stop by the famous Cherry on Top for a sweet treat. A big change for barbecue lovers, instead of a quick service window like on the Vista class ships, Guy's Pig and Anchor is now a full service restaurant. You can still enjoy a buffet style lunch from noon to 2:30 on sea days, but starting at 5:30 p.m. every evening, the restaurant shifts to a sit down dining experience with delicious barbecue served right to your table. And one final note, the spa and fitness center on the Carnival Celebration have been moved to decks 5 and 6 instead of being located on the upper decks like on other Carnival ships. Organize your stateroom. Joe and I have learned that keeping our stateroom organized is key to a smooth cruise. The Carnival Celebration makes this easy with 2 large closets featuring modular organizers. My favorite part is the adjustable shelves, which let you customize the space for hanging clothes or folded items. There's even room in the closets to store a suitcase, although we usually keep ours under the bed. The built-in baskets are great too, especially if you use packing cubes. Just unzip your cubes, place them on the shelves or baskets, and you're set. The vanity has an open area where we can set up our workstation, and the 2 shelves gives us space for essentials like my first aid kit, sunglasses, and headphones. Of course, I also like to bring my magnetic hooks so I can hang a few items to have quickly at hand. We always pack an outlet extender, but on the Carnival Celebration, we didn't need it much. With 3 regular outlets, 4 USB chargers on the vanity, and more by the bed, there's plenty of charging space. We still bring a portable power bank for shore excursions, though. I'll leave a link for all of our favorite cruise room essentials in the description below. Not all balcony cabins are created equal. The Carnival Celebration has optimized the number of balconies, the most popular type of stateroom on a cruise ship. Nearly 60% of the ship's 2,641 rooms feature a balcony. But not all balconies are the same. There are 4 unique balcony types that you will find on the Celebration. Our favorite type is the extended balcony. The Carnival Celebration was built with a bulge in the center of the ship to accommodate the center stage area. This unique design also allows for a select number of extended balcony cabins midships on decks 9 through 15. We stayed in one of these, and it was the best stateroom we've had on any cruise so far. The balcony offers enough room for a full sun lounger in addition to the standard 2 deck chairs and table. If you love sunbathing or just having more room to stretch out, this is a great choice. However, be aware that some of these extended balconies are near suites that tend to be booked by larger families, so you may have extra noise to contend with. If you are planning to retreat to your room for some peace and quiet when the cruise ship becomes just a bit too much, it might be worth considering other options. If you want a balcony that's close to the water, the Cove balcony is an excellent choice. Located on deck 5, you get a front row seat to the waves with a unique view that feels more personal than higher decks. The cons: be prepared for a little mist and salt spray from the ocean. If you're not a fan of the dampness, this might not be the most comfortable spot for lounging. If you want access to an exclusive area of the ship, the Havana Cabanas should be on your radar. While not true balconies, the staterooms each have a private cabana that exits to a dedicated area of the ship. It's not quite as private as a balcony, since other Havana guests can walk by. This is Carnival's solution to the ship within a ship trend that has been made popular by MSC's Yacht Club and Norwegian's Haven. The Havana debuted on the Carnival Vista, where you will find a dedicated sun deck stretching across the aft of the ship, 2 hot tubs, and a decent-sized swimming pool. Unfortunately, on the Carnival Celebration, the Havana area is not quite as nice as those on Vista-class ships. The pool is only big enough to dip your toes in, there are no hot tubs, and the sun deck looks off the side of the ship instead of getting a coveted aft view. For a more luxurious experience, the Cloud 9 spa balconies are a real gem. Located on the upper Lido deck at the front of the ship, these offer easy access to the pools, the buffet, and the spa. Wait, how does that work? If you were paying attention earlier, you'll remember that the spa is way down on deck 5. Well, Cloud 9 spa balconies have an express elevator that takes you straight there. You don't even have to check in at the spa desk. Staterooms include unlimited use of the thermal suites, plus extra discounts for spa treatments on port days. These cabins are more pricey, but if you were planning to buy a pass to the thermal suites anyways, it may end up saving you money. The ropes course found in the Ultimate Playground is a huge draw for the Excel class ships. It even has a zip line. And unlike Crown's Edge, the course found on Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas, the one on the Carnival Celebration is free. But there is no guarantee that the ropes course, or indeed any of the activities in the Ultimate Playground, will be open every day. On our week-long cruise, both the ropes course and the roller coaster were closed on 4 of the days due to high winds. So if you're set on trying out a specific activity, it's a good idea to do it early on during your cruise, just in case the weather or other factors keep it closed later. Weather isn't the only thing that can affect these activities. Each ride has specific height and weight requirements, and the crew is diligent about checking these before you hop on. I'll admit I was a bit worried about the weigh-in process, but there was no need to feel self-conscious. The scale doesn't show a number. It's simply a pass-fail system. If you're within the weight limits, the light turns green, and if not, it turns red. Here are the height and weight requirements for the popular attractions in the Ultimate Playground. I found it interesting that the Bolt roller coaster not only has a minimum height requirement, but also a maximum one. To ride, you need to be under 77 inches tall. This is particularly amusing because Shaquille O'Neal, who famously endorsed the Bolt in a Carnival ad, stands at 7 foot 1 inch. So I guess he's not allowed to try it out. One last thing to keep in mind is proper attire. For the splash zone and water slides, little ones must be toilet trained. No diapers allowed. For the Bolt and the ropes course, closed-toed shoes and dry clothing are a must. Plus, if you've been drinking, you won't be allowed to participate in the activities, so always plan ahead and make sure you're in the right gear before heading to the Ultimate Playground. Download the Carnival Hub app. Joe and I have gone on a few cruises before, so we already knew to download the Carnival Hub app before boarding the celebration. Unfortunately, once we got on board, the app didn't work. We needed to log on with our folio number, which was found on our key card, which was in our stateroom mailbox, which we couldn't get to until 1:30 p.m. In the meantime, we still needed to get our muster drill done, grab a bite to eat, and explore the ship. We always like to get our muster drill done first so we can sit back and relish the rest of our day. Sorry, that pun just never gets old for me. Anyways, your muster station is a number-letter combo you'll find listed on your boarding pass. The number indicates which deck you're on, either deck 6 or 7 for the Carnival Celebration. The letter points you to a specific area in the ship, starting with A for the main theater at the front of the ship, and going to G, the main dining room at the aft. With our muster drill done, we decided to grab some food, but how would we know where to go without access to the ship's map found in the app? We discovered that near every elevator bank, there are screens that list which restaurants are open and their current wait times. Even after we had access to the app, these screens were super helpful in keeping track of dining options and avoiding long waits. Fortunately, we had watched a few walking tours of the Carnival Celebration, so we knew exactly where to go. Summer Landing. Yep, I promised I'd be talking more about this zone on the Carnival Celebration. This was easily our favorite area of the ship, especially on embarkation day. The area has almost everything you need. You'll find Guy's Pig and Anchor Barbecue serving lunch from noon to 2:30. If you like to get an embarkation day ice cream cone, there are soft serve dispensers tucked at the back of the Heroes Tribute Lounge. There's comfy chairs, a game area with foosball tables, and the watering hole bar. And since very few passengers have discovered this zone on the first day, you don't have to fight through the crowds to get to any of it. Best of all, there is a pool and hot tub right there. If you're looking to take a swim before sail away, this will be the least crowded spot on the ship. Now, I did say almost everything could be found here. Unfortunately, the only place to grab a pool towel is at the towel hut up on deck 16. And trust me, there was no way we were going to trek up there. The whole point was to avoid the chaos of the Lido deck and enjoy this quieter area at Summer Landing. So we made do with our swim cover-ups instead. The most important meal of the day. They say the most important meal of the day is breakfast. Carnival has definitely taken that to heart with its many options. You have the usual breakfast buffet offering a variety of hot items, pastries, yogurt, and fruit. On the Carnival Celebration, the selection is decent, but nothing extraordinary. Personally, I'm not much of a morning person, and I found the buffet up on the Lido deck a bit intense first thing in the morning. So I was delighted to discover there is a second breakfast buffet held at the Pig and Anchor Barbecue on Deck 8. With a smaller display and just one line, it offers all the same items you'll find on the Lido deck, but without the crowds. The breakfast buffet on the Lido deck does have one advantage: made-to-order omelet stations. However, even with 4 stations, the lines can be painfully slow. So here's a secret tip. Head over to the Big Chicken and ask for their basic 3-cheese omelet. You can always top it with veggies from the deli section of the buffet if you want something more elaborate. Big Chicken also serves 2 different breakfast biscuit options, but frankly, these were terrible. You'll be much happier if you head down to Blue Iguana and grab a breakfast burrito, some arepas, or huevos rancheros. This is our go-to spot for debarkation day. For some reason, hardly anyone ever thinks to go here on the last day of the cruise, and there is literally no one in line. On the Carnival Celebration, you also have the option to get breakfast at Emeril's. For $6, you can choose between several Creole specialties, including shrimp and grits, sweet potato waffles, or a breakfast po' boy. If all you want is a big cup of fancy coffee, head down to Java Blue. Be warned that the line for coffee can get quite long in the mornings. They also have a small section of complimentary breakfast items, including granola, muffins, and 3 varieties of hot breakfast sandwiches. I love this spot because these were items that were different from those available elsewhere on the ship. But I could not figure out how late the breakfast items were available. It seems like it was just until they ran out. On sea days, Carnival offers a wonderful brunch menu in the main dining room. You've got to try this at least once on your cruise. My favorite is the house specialty, a giant pancake topped with whipped ricotta, guava jam, and coconut marshmallows, smothered in maple syrup. Yeah, it is a bit of sugar overload, but it is totally worth it. If you'd rather not venture out for breakfast, room service is a solid choice. The menu is limited to cold items like pastries, yogurt, and fresh fruit, along with hot coffee or tea. But it is free. Just be sure to place your order through your stateroom phone by 8 p.m. the night before. Express elevators on port days. We were happy to find out that the elevators on the Carnival Celebration were not the so-called smart elevators that we have encountered on other cruise ships. While those smart elevators are designed to optimize efficiency, in our experience, they just lead to confusion and longer wait times. On the Carnival Celebration, however, the elevators are pretty standard. Slow and crowded, but not unreasonably so. That said, there was one big exception: port days. If you've ever cruised, you know that getting back on the ship can feel like a battle for space. When returning to the Carnival Celebration, the elevators near the gangway were always packed, and the lines for them turned into a chaotic jumble of people all trying to squeeze in at once. We don't mind taking the stairs a few flights, but climbing to our stateroom on the 16th floor would have been a bit much. Luckily, we found a workaround that let us bypass the busy elevators at the gangway. We simply walked up 2 flights of stairs to Deck 5, where we headed towards the aft elevators. These elevators don't go down to Deck 3, where the gangway is located, so they were never crowded. We usually got an express ride straight to Deck 16 and our stateroom at the aft of the ship, the #1 lunch spot. With 6,000 passengers on board, the Carnival Celebration can feel overwhelming at times. But it actually has a higher space ratio than other Carnival ships, and its zone design helps break up the crowds. While some areas can get overcrowded, like Grand Central during the center stage show, the ship is generally good at managing space. To avoid the crowd chaos, we found it helpful to zig when others zag. For example, heading to the Lido deck a bit after the lunch rush makes a big difference. While the buffet closes at 2:30 p.m., Carnival offers plenty of other options. Blue Iguana stays open an hour longer, Guy's Burgers goes all the way till 6 p.m., and both Deco Deli and Miami Slice are open late into the night. But the real hidden gem is Street Eats, tucked behind the main pool on the Lido deck. With rotating daily specials like loaded fries, steamed dim sum, and stir fries, it's perfect for a late lunch or mid-afternoon snack. Open from noon to 6 p.m., it's a great way to grab something different every day. When you're on a cruise, there is one place you'll find yourself sooner than later: the pool. Whether you're swimming, soaking up the sun, playing games, or just enjoying music and movies on the big screen, for many, the pool is the heart of their cruise vacation. I love that Carnival Celebration has 4 pools, each with its own atmosphere. The main pool on the Lido deck is the hub of activity. On our cruise, there was either live music or a movie going on at all times. The pool was often filled with kids, but it is large enough to feel spacious, and we did go swimming here a few times. There's also a hot tub nearby, though it tends to be monopolized by children as well. If you're looking for peaceful relaxation, there are better options. A second, smaller pool is located at the aft of the Lido deck with 2 large hot tubs on either side. While it can get busy with families too, it generally feels calmer than the main pool. I often thought this pool seemed like a natural gathering spot for families who spent most of their time at the splash zone and water slides just a couple decks above. Personally, we gravitated to the pool on Summer Landing on Deck 8. This became my go-to spot. The pool there has a gorgeous aft view, and the movable sun loungers let me set up in the perfect spot each time. I love the shallow area where I could dip my toes and cool off. On the starboard side, 2 hot tubs look out over the side of the ship, offering the perfect spot for adults to relax and enjoy a drink from the nearby watering hole. There is one more pool in the celebration, on Deck 18 in Serenity, Carnival's adults-only retreat. Located at the front of the ship, it's the largest Serenity area on any Carnival ship. There are 2 hot tubs on either side of the area as you enter. While these are quite large, they were still almost always full to capacity whenever we walked through. In the center of Serenity, there is a pool with a waterfall. This is a beautiful pool, and I love the calm vibe and the absence of kids. But the water was absolutely freezing. We were in the Caribbean during January, and most days the air temperature was in the 80s. It was certainly quite hot in the sun, but the pool is in constant shade and the water never had a chance to warm up. This is a huge design flaw in my opinion. Personally, when we're on vacation, Joe and I prefer spontaneity over strict schedules. So we were delighted to discover that reservations are not required for any of the first-class entertainment found on the Carnival Celebration. This was a marked difference from our experience on Royal Caribbean and MSC, where we had to book reservations for the headline shows in advance through the onboard app. But on the Carnival Celebration, you can simply walk up to any venue and enjoy a performance without a reservation. Whether it's a playlist production show, the Punchline or Comedy Club, or the game shows like Family Feud and Deal or No Deal. This gives you the flexibility to decide on a whim which show to catch, even if it wasn't part of your original plan. However, while this adds a layer of freedom, there is a trade-off. You might not get the best seat in the house. For popular shows like those at the Grand Spectrum Theater, Center Stage, or the comedy clubs, Carnival restricts seating by closing the doors or roping off sections until 30 minutes before the show begins. This helps avoid a few people saving blocks of seats for large groups. We did arrive early for one production at Center Stage, hoping to snag prime seats on the top level right in front of the glass railing. We staked our claim 30 minutes before the show began, only to find that 15 minutes after the show started, a handful of kids and even one adult had wormed their way in front of us to crouch on the floor. This was quite annoying, especially since there were other seats available in the area. After this experience, we decided not to worry about arriving early for future shows, and we were still able to catch plenty of performances without any issues. If front row seating is important to you, it's best to arrive early. But if you're okay with any seat, you can enjoy the shows without the hassle of planning ahead. One of the highlights of cruising is the gourmet meals served at no extra charge in the main dining room. However, we weren't fans of the MDR on the Carnival Celebration. The decor felt dull and the lighting was dim. We only ate there for one dinner during our week-long cruise. Halfway through our meal, the entertainment host began his nightly show, and the lights suddenly began to flash in time with the song. The loud music, combined with the strobe light effect, was so disorientating that I had to stop eating until it was over. To be honest, after sailing on several back-to-back Carnival cruises, we were also getting bored of the same MDR menu that is served on every Carnival ship. Thankfully, the Celebration offers plenty of other dining options. There are 2 alternative main dining spots, Chabang and Cucina del Capitano. You can visit each of these restaurants once for free. Additional visits cost $8 per person. We tried both and had an amazing experience each time. Chabang serves Mexican or Chinese cuisine, and you can mix and match from each menu. Cucina del Capitano is Carnival's Italian restaurant, and that's where I had one of my favorite cruise meals ever. If you're willing to spend a bit more money, all of Carnival's standard specialty dining restaurants can be found on the Celebration. Bonsai Sushi and Teppanyaki, the Fahrenheit 555 Steakhouse, and Rudy's Sea Grill. But Excel-class ships also have another option, not found on other ships. Emeril's Bistro, offering Creole-inspired dishes by the one and only Emeril Lagasse. We were really excited to try this venue, but I have to admit, while it was good, it wasn't great. We ordered off the regular menu, and our meal was mostly deep-fried flavors. In hindsight, I wish we tried something from the rotating World Specials menu, which highlights global flavors from a different region every day. The one course that didn't disappoint was dessert. We ordered the beignets, and they were served freshly made, perfectly warm and fluffy, and absolutely delicious. I hope these tips and insider secrets help you make the most of your time aboard the Carnival Celebration. As you can see, this mega ship has something on board for everyone. Make sure you check out our deck-by-deck walking tour of the Carnival Celebration so you don't waste time figuring out how to get around on embarkation day. And you won't want to miss our honest review of our cruise experience. We tell it like it is and don't hold back. Enjoy your journey on the Carnival Celebration. And remember, no matter if you're watching a show in Grand Central, grabbing some barbecue at Summer Landing, or lounging on the Lido deck, adventure awaits.